Hey, I don't know what's going on here. We got more technical difficulties than we ever had. Hey, Blue, you there?
I'm there, I'm here. How you
Hey,
going, Yodin?
you're really sounding good actually now. So whatever happened there, we got a curse, so that's a good thing. And Frosty dropped off. So hey, well, listen, we appreciate you popping in here. You've dropped in on us once before, unexpected. This was a bit of an invite because I woke up the other night. So this is where we're talking about varying time schedules. And I heard you talking on the Discourse Syndicate. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning here, and I was listening and sleeping. And I was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. And I went and looked, and I watched on the Hedron project, and it seems like you've done a lot of research on it, and you were trying to get it out, and people, whatever, I don't know, it was seemed like yeah, I want to hear about this thing, and I went and watched some of the gentlemen on the Telegram. Okay. There we go. Hello, sorry, that was my YouTube kind of catching up to us. There we go. There you go. We don't need that thing on there. The intro didn't work. It was fun, but who needs it? So can you hear me? We're in real-time conversation now, at least?
Yep, we are.
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, Hedron is. Oh, yeah. Go and ask a question.
no, I just we got a bit of delay there. I'll shut up for a second. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, yeah. Do you want me to? I mean, I've just literally first found out about it about a week ago, and just went into the Telegram chat and started looking around and read a bit up on it, and then started asking questions. And I had the same thing when I first found Hex, where I was just kind of like, with every bit of information I found, I just went, and it just kind of this slow realization of what this is. And
Yeah.
and so yeah, I think it's like, so I think it's really worth everyone to obviously do their own research and to find out about it. And as part of finding out about it, I want to let people know what I've found out. So it's called Hedron. What do you want to do? Do you want to ask me questions, or do you want me to kind of give a bit of a spiel about it?
No, that's it. I kind of put that out there, and I'm hesitating because every time I make a noise, if I kind of start, you think I'm going to cut you off, just keep going or not. I'll try to be civil. I was brought up, but yeah, we can first, I guess, kind of just acknowledge the intro I had some stuff on there about we're excited about the Pulse swap, PulseX sacrifice. But no, let's go. Honestly, I went on that. I saw a YouTube video those two gentlemen made. Hey, Frosty, welcome back. And it looked really interesting. And it's been a chat in the Hex community for a while, being able to, trade shares. So it sounds like those guys are well on their way. And I know this isn't a Richard endorsed project or anything, but we love Richard. He's a great leader. But what did you learn off these guys, or what have you learned so far from that software? I've just seen the half-hour video, and I haven't had a chance to do the deeper dive yet. But it sounds interesting, really interesting.
Yeah, it's super interesting. So first off, there's our normal hex stakes. Right, our normal native hex stakes that we either have or that we're going to make in the future directly with the hex contract. So with those stakes, we're going to be able to mint Hedron, right? So really, this is a kind of distribution model for the Hedron. And who's it going to? It's going to hex stakers. So the way it's worked out, it's just based on stakes. It's not hex holders. It's just based on hex stakes. So if you have a hex stake and you, let's say you have a 10-year stake and you have waited 1 year, it's 1 year old, you'll be able to mint Hedron for that 1 year, based on that 1 year, based on how many you continue to wait another whatever amount of time, 30 days, a year, 2 years, whatever, at any time you'll be able to come back and you'll be able to mint more hedron based on having spent more time with that stake, right? And it's purely, it goes and it reads your how long your stake has been going for, and you have to pay the gas fee, like it's the Ethereum gas fee in order to mint, and that will be probably somewhere between $8 and $28 per stake, and you'll basically just be able to mint hedron from that. So that's a complete, just based on our own stakes now, based on the native stakes that we have. Now, also,
you're breaking up a little bit there. I don't mean to interrupt, but I do have a question that as you're going on this, because I did watch the video. Are we going to be able to trade the NFT stakes in both chains, or is this going to just be on the Pulse chain?
No, it'll be both chains.
Okay.
So separate to just being able to mint whatever hedron from your stake, from your native stake, they're also releasing what is called an HSI, right? An HSI stands for Hex Stake 3 Contract.
You're a bit of a bad connection.
What that does,
just a sec. I don't mean to cut you off. Blue. Your connection's pretty. Dave, you hear me fine?
I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
You can start.
Blue Bum. You're. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we got. It's like a bad connection. You want to try and hang up and test your internet and call back in? There he goes. Hey David, what's happening?
Good buddy, how are you doing today?
Oh man, look how red I am. We went to the beach.
They went to the playa. Feliz Navidad.
Beach. I don't know what happened. You got kicked off. The intro I made didn't work, and then his connection is sucking. But you guys, welcome. We got a bunch of new people in here, so we appreciate
Spartan, Crypto Freedom. We got B-Mine, Info Death. Welcome everybody. Yes. Welcome to HEXADOR.
Nice. Listen, I recognize some. Be Mindful of Death. I remember from early days in Telegram. I wasn't much of a. Well, it's been a while since I've been using that, but someone did post here earlier in this Hedron token, and this is why we really hope Blue.
This is why it's live. It's new. It's rough.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not professionals. We just make it happen. So let's just run the intro again, and
I'm looking for it right now as you're talking.
And we get Blue Bum back in here. We deal with our technical difficulties, but we are not experts. We are just here having a good time, making shit happen in Ecuador.
Let's do it. Yeah, man. And this must be different.
Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Moving into the new year tomorrow. Glad you can join us. And we will be.
Hey, dude. Well, this is one from last week, which one of these never did a little, but this is right. Here we go.
Looks excellent, my friend.
Hey, man. Cheers. Cheers. Happy New Year, everybody. We were going to do a little weekend review here. Okay, we got... we lost Blue, but he's welcome. If anyone out there knows, I know Be Mindful of Death knows some stuff about Hedron. I saw him in the chat there. I didn't get too far into it, but it looks really interesting. That's what we were hoping to be lazy and let Blue talk to us about it. But there's a lot of things going on. We got, oh no, it looks like Randall. I can recognize his mess in the background there. He's got some fancy new handle on there.
Oh, does he? Derek Boyd, welcome to having us, my friend. All the banks here are crypto friendly. Well, is there a crypto friendly bank in the world right now? No, it's kind of like a game of whack-a-mole. So things change, things happen. You know, it's a strategy that you have to put together when it comes to crypto, no matter where you are in the world. But yeah, internet is generally fine here. Oh, that's Blue Bum.
Yeah, he said he can't get back on. I'll post there. Here's the link again. I'll paste it. I don't know what happened. See what happened. Maybe we got bumped off, and it's a new invite link. But here we got formerly known as Frosty's friend.
What is he known as today?
I don't even know. It's written in small letters there. What
do you got? What do you got named today, there, brother?
It's
Modern
actually
Simplicity. Shout out, brother.
It's Zaphros is the one.
Oh, there you go.
And anybody that knows sci-fi knows Zaphros.
Oh,
there you go. I'm sure some Hexicans or some sci-fi fans out there. I'm a sci-fi fan, but I don't know who that is. You read sci-fi or watch movies?
So where are we at? Where are we at with the hex sacrifice? You sacrifice?
Yeah.
Where are we at? Randall, you sacrifice?
Yeah, hey,
what's going on with the hex sacrifice?
Let's talk about that. That's it. We got distracted there for a bit. Good sound. The intro would have got us going in the right direction. But I did just to say it was day one, but I have no game theory at all. I'm lost in this thing. I put in some hex that I had liquid in my wallet. I've been waiting, and I'm going to cost average over a couple of days here, and I have a certain amount in my head. I'm thinking about sacrificing, and then we'll see what happens, because once you think you know what it's going to do, then probably do something else. So it was nice to see the pump, though, right? Everyone's
Modern Simplicity says Rich is going to go live. Leave it to us to run a live stream every time Richard goes. What do you want me to say? Whatever.
Says Joey, nothing. He can't. Well, I'll tell you, if you can hear us, your connection was terrible. It's like watching someone on Skype. It was a real bad Skype call or something, or just a bad connection on your end. It seemed
That's what happened with me, and then I had to jump out and then jump back in.
Hey, Blue, why don't you try rebooting your computer and coming back in? And that message is, I don't know where. I think the same message. It just says joining. I'm going to hit invite guests again. Copy link. Try and put it in here. Okay. So anyways,
Randall,
what's going on?
Where are we at this week? What's new, my friend? How you been? Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Well, Christmas was good. Family came up. Unfortunately, I had to go pick them up last week, so wasn't able to be on. All right. But, yeah, everybody came up. We had a good Christmas. Everybody went down. Now, a few people have a cold, apparently, down there.
Oh, really?
Yep. So, little baby's got a temperature, but don't know. Yeah. So
good.
Yeah, everything's down right now, so...
You're not talking about Hex?
Like I said to Frosty before, right? Hex works opposite of the actual market. When the market is down, Hex is up. When the market is up, Hex is down or just sideways. So,
sometimes, yeah.
Right.
It
seems that it usually does whatever opposite the market itself is doing.
I like that.
I'm not going to complain. T-shares keep on printing day after day after day after day.
Well, I was trying to look into sacrificing. I was going to try to find about $1,000 US to go sacrifice so that I could get a couple of Pulse tokens, but just trying to figure out navigate through the whole sacrificing.
I was on etherscan.io. Don't worry, friend. It'll be easy for you. They take Shiba Inu. It's right in there. You can go straight from Binance chain if you want to.
Yeah, straight from Binance Chain right into Shiba Inu.
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. It's all good.
I'm never going to liquidate my position in Shiba Inu yet.
Inu. Hey, special guest from Australia. Can you hear us?
Special guest, my friend. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you.
You sound perfect, and your audio. You see, you're on here with 3 Canadians. One guy's up in Canada, and 2 of us are down here in Manta, Ecuador. So appreciate you coming in. Before we get into this Hedron stuff, do you want to talk? We're just kind of talking a little bit about the sacrifice, and but definitely we're Hedron friendly, or definitely interested in hearing about it and anything you got to add on that. But what are your thoughts on the sacrifice so far? Are you impressed with the amount of money that's gone into it, or what are you thinking about all this excitement?
Yeah, it's great. I think it's astounding. I'm not sure if you saw, but he just put up the PulseX.info site. That's all good. So that allows people to gives all the other addresses, like if they want to sack Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or any of the other things that are being offered. And it's a new site, and it looks really slick, and it's really good. You just connect your MetaMask, and then you kind of click whatever you want to donate, and it gives you the address for it. And I think the PulseX is a fantastic bet. I think it's
100%.
I think it's a great political statement, and I think that it's a really good bet. I think that also if you missed out on the Pulse sacrifice and you want to get Pulse, I think this is also a way to get Pulse. And I think that also because a lot of people are probably going to be doing it for that reason, like if you don't have any spare money to sack but you did put in for the Pulse and you want some PulseX, I think you're going to be able to snap up a bit of cheap PulseX from Pulse straight after launch as well, because a lot of people are going to be trying to get Pulse from the PulseX. So I think they're all good bets. I think that, hold long term like a good hexagon, and you'll do well from probably everything. And which is the fastest horse? I've got no idea.
Yeah.
But what's the fastest horse? You got all the horses. You got Pulse, you got PHEX, you got EHEX, you got PulseX, you got Pulse. They're all fastest horses. Like, just get in there and take it, ride the wave, man.
Yeah, suddenly we're diversified.
I know.
Have you sacrificed Blue Bomb yet for the PulseX sacrifice or no?
Not yet. I'm waiting to hear, because I'm waiting to hear back from the Nomad Capitalist people about my plan to leave Australia and how much money I'll need for that. And
so you're planning to come to Ecuador?
I don't think Ecuador. I mean, I might come to Ecuador, but I think that they're going to probably recommend getting residency in Georgia.
Oh, really? Georgia?
Yeah, and then not spending any time longer than 4 or 5 months in any one country.
Yeah.
And but it's still so in a few days I get to find out their exact plan for me, and then I'll have a bit more of an understanding of how much money I'll need and have to make those decisions.
We'll change your name to Nomad Hexagon then.
Nomad Hexagon, there you go.
Country. Yeah. So
it's an interesting strategy based on each person's unique strategy. The 3 of us have all gone through Nomad Capitalist at this point, and it's kind of interesting to see the different strategies that are being recommended from them. But there's definitely a lot of hexagons in Nomad right now that we know personally at this point, so they're well aware of what's happening and what's going on with Hex. And I don't know if you guys caught the other day that Nomad shed a little shout out at Hex, but he probably shout out.
Was he just break?
Yeah, that's what you sounded like. I hope it's not our stream on this end, because
right.
I don't think so though.
No idea. Who knows? It could be anyone. But
glitch.
But yeah, like just quietly, I think you're going to be able to look forward to the Nomad Capitalist talking to Richard sometime this month.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, we lost him. He jumped off there. So Randall, this is Blue, and Randall's a friend of Dave's from back in Canada, and they mined Ethereum together back in the day. Yeah,
we've been on together.
Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure. And all right, well, so I reached out. I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, I reached out to Blue because he was talking about this Hedron token that's coming out. It's going to be airdrop basic, or you're going to be able to mint it if you have from your Hex stakes. And this is actually going to play as this project develops. It'll play a little bit of effect in how I strategize my stakes here in the next little while, because I have some rolling capital. I got a stake in ladder 15 years like everybody else. I think in this beginning I didn't probably stake enough out far enough, because like anyone, you're a little bit afraid. And like you said, this does feel like the early days of Hex when I'm in that Telegram and stuff. It's pretty neat, pretty neat for sure. So do you want to go on talk a little bit about that? We got a good connection now, so maybe start the basics again. And Randall, check this out. It's pretty cool. And everyone else is listening.
Basically, a good way to look at Hedron is that the way they're launching this token is, the way they're distributing this token is only to Hex stakers. It's not to people who hold Hex liquid. It's only to people who have stakes. And so with all of your current Hex stakes, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to mint Hedron based on how many days you have had that stake for so far, and how many B shares you have. So, yep.
I'm agreeing. I nodded. I made the noise with my mouth because I heard him say switching to B shares. So let's do that. We're doing it. T shares are going to be dinosaurs soon enough, right? People will be talking. That's all I was agreeing with. Go ahead.
Yeah. So let's say you have a 10-year stake and you've been in it for 1 year. You'll be able to print Hedron for that year, and then basically, like as it goes on, like at any amount of days more into the stake, you'll be able to continue to mint Hedron based on the next portion of days that you have spent, right? So it's going to be for people who already have stakes. It's going to be a constant source of, you can just print Hedron if you have shares, and the only cost will be the Ethereum gas fee to print them up. Or if you're on the Pulse chain, whatever that gas fee is. So in terms of that, it's just this is how the token is being distributed. It's only going to Hex stakers. So separate to that, we'll also be able to make new stakes through their HSI contract. And the HSI stands for Hex Stake Instant. And that actually makes a stake into the actual Hex contract, but you do it in this kind of wrapper of that Hex Stake Instant. And that will allow you to have a few more options for your stakes. One of those options will be that you'll be able to tokenize a stake. So you'll be able to make your Quattro Cinco stake and then tokenize it, turn it into an NFT. And once it's in an NFT, you can send it to another address, or you can send it to somebody else as a present, or you could put it on a market and sell it. So you could have a Quattro Cinco stake, wait 5 years, and then sell that stake, right? And then once that person receives that NFT, they run what's called a de-tokenizing function, and it turns it back into the stake, right? So people will be able to trade stakes.
That's revolutionary. That's going to change the Hex landscape. So that's why I'm so interested, excited. Like it's going to change everything, whether people want it to come or not. It's here. They've been talking about this for a while. And this is a huge deal. I think these guys, the gentleman I heard talking about the other day, I forget the name of their YouTube channel, but one of them was the developer, and a guy did a really good job interviewing him. And it sounds like they're on the right path, and they got good intentions,
Oh yeah, they definitely are. I've been in the chat for quite a few days now, and I'm thoroughly impressed by the other people, like the guy who's written it all and who's paid out of his own pocket for the audit, and all of the other people who have come in and have discovered how it works and are now educating other people, other hexagons about how it works. I think they're highly integrous people, and the the more you find out about it, the more impressed I have been. So you'll be able to, so that in itself, just being able to tokenize a stake, and it kind of means that there's going to be tons more Quattro Cinco stakes. So tons of HEX is going to be locked up into the future. And less people are going to emergency end stake and dump it on the market as well. Because if you can tokenize a stake and get the maximum like interest from that share rate, and then wait like 2 years, and then the price has shot up an astronomical amount and you really want to sell it, instead of emergency end staking and dumping those HEX on the market, you're just going to be able to sell that HEX to somebody else who is going to hold that. So no HEX gets dumped. So it's incredibly price positive for HEX.
I agree.
Right? But not only that, right? What else you can do with this HSI is that you'll be able to mint Hedron just from having a stake. And also you'll be able to, what they call is borrow. But it's more like an advance on that mint. So like if you have a stake and it has this amount of time, you can borrow all the Hedron that you will be able to mint over the life of that stake, and then you can pay it back. So it's almost like a cash advance. Now there is a risk to that. If you go over 90 days, if you go for 90 days and you don't make a payment, then somebody else can come in with Hedron, pay off your loan, and get ownership of your stake. Excellent. Right? So that's the dangerous part. But you never have to borrow. I mean, and honestly, I don't see myself borrowing. I don't see myself ever actually using that, because why would you need to? It'll like you could use it if you needed a little cash advance, but even so, I would only use it if I ever did need it for very short periods of time. And it's an ability, it's an option, right? And people are gonna, maybe some people are gonna not understand it. So then it's up to us to educate people about what the dangers of this are.
I for one can speak to this, and I've mentioned it many times on this stream. And one of the reasons I'm such a strong Hexagon, let's say, is because I was involved in the MakerDAO contracts, and I was locking my ETH up to get DAI to buy more ETH. And I mean, I was buying ETH at fantastic prices, but I got wiped out twice on Scamwix within a little window. Call them Scamwix, like terrible. I had a nice ratio, and I had dry powder to throw in there to take care of the loan if I needed to, but I got wrecked. And then that's when I kind of learned about Richard and Kareem and these different people talking about how the exchanges are betting against you, and they just they have all the data there, and they just got to take out all the longs and all the and well, that's what happened to me. I was long on ETH, but in a smart contract, and then that freed up for me a big chunk of ETH. I lost a bunch, but it ended up in HEX, so it was the best thing that could have happened, really. So yeah.
Well, one of the beautiful things about Hedron is it doesn't rely on any oracles, and you're not leveraging yourself up. You're only getting an advance on the Hedron that you could mint in the future, and you're paying interest rate. You pay the interest rate is worked out as from the APY of the HEX at the moment that you make that advance. But yes, if you miss 90 days, you could get liquidated, absolutely. So that's the risk, and that's the danger to know. But it's not like, and I suppose people could borrow and then dump that Hedron for more HEX, and sort of try to leverage up like that. But I don't think you'd, maybe you could do that, and then people would have to kind of manage that and make sure that they're managing it in a responsible way. But the easiest thing to do is just to not ever borrow.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's more to. Let me get you to the really good part. Okay. The really good part is for the first 100 days of the launch of this contract, and it's probably going to be launched on January the 31st. But an audit's coming any day now, so we can have a look at this more properly, and feel secure in doing it. And I'm sure many other eyeballs are going to come and look over it, hopefully. But if it launches on January 31st, for the first 100 days, there is a bonus. So if you mint Hedron on that first day, you get 10x the amount of hedron. If you mint it on the second day, you get 9.9x, the third day 9.8x, and it goes all the way for 100 days down to 0.01x, right? So let's say you create for your existing stake, right? Let's say you've got a Quattro Cinco. If you mint on that day, you get 10x the hedron, plus that bonus will stay for the life of that stake. So then if you go and wait a few years and then go and mint more hedron based on the time you've spent, you still get that 10x bonus. Now imagine...
That add value to that thing, selling it in the future.
Now imagine this, right? The hedron contract comes out. You make an HSI stake with that using their wrapper, right? You make a Quattro Cinco, so you're going to be able to tokenize that stake. On the first day, the first day you make it, the day rolls over, so then on the second day, you mint based on that from the first day, so you lock in the 9.9x bonus. Now you wait for 5 years, or you tokenize that stake. Now that stake not only is worth a Quattro Cinco based on the share rate that you got at the time that you're now selling 5 years later, but also that stake has the ability to mint hedron at the 9.9x bonus rate. So it's going to add an even more of a premium on buying that stake.
It's like it's raining money in Hex. Everywhere you look, it's like, come on, Randall, just give in. Come over to the good side.
I can't afford to come over to the good side. That's the problem.
I know. This guy's gas. I remember when I was working on the rigs and I was working, this guy was a directional driller. He's making $1,500 a day US dollars. And I tried to tell him to buy some, and he was complaining about the $2 or $3 Coinbase fee. Tried to buy Hex, and there's about 4 zeros in front of the digits, whatever they were floating around at the time. He's like, dude, this cost me $4 to send it off Coinbase. It's just like, throw the money off there now, dude. And I'm not saying you're like that, Randall, but sometimes
if I had the gas fees to cover, the $100 gas fees to cover, right?
Sunday nights are always best.
Oh yeah.
Listen, you're. So, did you finish your stream on that? Continue. Your stream of consciousness is pretty good.
So there's one thing that I think that hexagons at the moment should know as well, and that is that if you have a hex stake that is about to end, let's say you've had a hex stake for the last 2 years, like a long time, and it's about to end. Instead of ending it and minting the hex, you might be better off running good accounting, waiting for January the 31st and this contract to launch, and then on the first day, minting the hedron, because it's based on how many days that you've spent. So if you've got a 2-year hex stake, like instead of minting it and foregoing all of that hedron, run good accounting, let it sit in limbo for a month or 2 weeks or whatever it is. And then on the first day you mint the hedron, you'll get the 10x bonus and all this free hedron. And who knows what hedron will be worth? We don't know. Like, it's going to be a market like anything else. But what I know is that people in the chats are talking about providing an ETH hedron liquidity pair in Uniswap. And then when the fork happens, that the bots come in, they buy up all of those hedron ERC20s and put Pulse in their place, and then they will provide the liquidity on PulseX. So it's going to be, like, I don't know what's going to happen to that liquidity that's from those bots, but I think that's there forever in the PulseX. I'm not sure about that. I've asked a couple of questions and haven't gotten kind of answers on that, about what happens to the liquidity from those bots. But my guess is that what you're doing is just you're providing kind of like a base floor of liquidity on PulseX for hedron versus Pulse. And I think people are going to add the liquidity anyway, because we're going to have a whole ton of headroom, and you could either dump it into the market and try to get whatever you can from it at a very cheap, and then or you can hold on to it, which is what probably a lot of hexagons will do, and see what happens. So there you go. The bot liquidity can never be removed on PulseX.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's I'm a deeper dive than me. Anything I hear about PulseX or PulseX just sounds the game theory is amazing, and it's beyond what I could have expected. Really, I was just thinking we were going to get another version of Uniswap over there or something, but this is really cool.
Yeah, and it's going to be only goes to hex stakers, so that's the distribution model. It's giving it to just hex stakers.
Yeah, and that's a nice group of people to be taken care of as well. Basically the core of the hexagon community.
Yeah.
So it sounds fantastic. Is that everything you got on that? Someone asked in the question, asked about a white paper. I directed him in the comments to the t.me/Hedron, right? Did I spell that right?
Yeah. That sounds right. T-R-O-N. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I think
that's probably the best place at this point to get information, I would say. Or do they have a website? Or
yeah, they've got a website as well. It's hedron.pro.
.pro?
Yeah. So yeah, it's already up on testnet, so people can also test it out on the Pulse testnet. There's a couple of interviews floating around with the guy who made it, Alex.
Alex, okay.
You can also go in and there are some really, really smart people in the chat. You can ask questions. Absolutely go and do your research. We're all really looking forward to the audit. So we'll have a good read of that. It'd be great if anybody is more of a security expert, solidity expert, please go and check it all out, read it. We want as many eyeballs on this as possible. And yeah, I think it's
it sounds relatively risk-free to mint your tokens. Now, restaking through that process, that would be where I won't say I think it's an exciting idea, and people have been bantering this around off and on. You hear rumors of this kind of stuff for a while, and I don't know if are you aware of any other projects that are out there trying to tokenize or provide the ability to?
There was Hex Bay, and that was
I remember that.
We were talking about that back in March. I'm not sure what happened to that. I remember thinking it wasn't that a great a value proposition. And there's also Firebun wrote some contracts that do something different to this, and that will be on Staker app. But that's more kind of for a whale to be able to sell shares to smaller people, so people can get these shares of these bigger stakes with not having to worry about the end stake fee, but they can't on-sell them. It's just a kind of one-step thing.
No, this sounds really cool, and this guy that thought this up, kudos to Alex, smart guy. Maybe he can come on sometime, chat with us before this thing launches. Well, actually, we want him if he hears about it, definitely.
Yeah, come on, absolutely.
I don't know what value we add other than we're just having fun, and we can barely keep a stream together. But most part, hey, we're just trying to do it. I realize there's people streaming other channels and stuff, but we pick one night Thursday and just start doing this. So we're trying to give back. And hey, David's got Dave Frosty over there is a real smart guy. He's got a lot of stuff on the go down here, and we're working on everything we've been talking about, buying furniture and getting payment networks going. It's going to take time, but the gears are moving, and hopefully go ahead there.
Remember, that right? Yeah, you say we got a small stream here. You have a small stream here of people that are coming in and taking a look or whatever. But every one person is going to tell 25 people what they heard here. and
Yeah,
then
we're
those
not.
people are
We're,
going to pass it along. So
we're not professionals. We're just average people, the average Joe coming out here trying to make a difference in the world. You know what I mean? We've been blessed by having the success of Hex and the projects and cryptocurrency, and now we're just trying to make a difference in the world. You know, we don't keep track of stats like I used to keep track of stats and everything else a lot more, but now our prime focus is making a difference in the world because we've been blessed with the ability to make that happen. So now we're trying to make a difference in Latin America, and I personally don't focus on stats as much as more than enough people creating content in the community. Okay, and Gerardo and all those guys, they're on the ball. What we're focused on is trying to make a difference in the world. You know what I mean? And trying to make a difference in Latin America, trying to blaze new trails in a country where crypto hasn't been basically non-existent here. Websites are non-existent here. So, bring crypto websites, payment networks, everything. So that's what we're focused on. And we just want to talk to and be part of the community and make a difference in the world. And we signed a contract with Vis-a-Vis production company, and we got some crypto events. We signed the deal for Miss Crypto World. So we're going to own the rights to Miss Crypto World and run some of the first events in the world. We're just out here trying to make a difference and be part of the community and make the space a better place. So, and I appreciate Blumen coming in.
We really do. And speaking of the community, you mentioned a few there. Jardo, Wales Only, Discourse Syndicate.
Yeah, absolutely.
New guy, relatively new, Crypto Heartbeat. That guy's killing it out there. Of course, we love HEXADOR, G3 Kinetics, and Rags to Riches came on here last week with us. But there's just there's a ton of talent and people that are just excited about making money and participating in this ecosystem that we're all involved in. So kudos to you guys. It's been a great year. Happy New Year, and next year is looking pretty good too. It doesn't seem to be stopping.
2022 is going to be an amazing year, not only for the events that we're running, but for PulseX, Pulse Chain, freaking everything. It's amazing. Hedron, it's all just absolutely mind-boggling what's happening right now. It's kind of inconceivable. I honestly don't even know how some of this shit's illegal, but fuck, it's amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
We live in incredible times, that's for sure.
It's the best of times, the worst of times, almost.
Like Richard says, man, where can you print free money? It's literally you're printing free money. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And anybody that thinks that, honestly, we had this conversation on the beach today, Yodin. You and I, we had this conversation with two new guys, a guy and a girl on the beach. One's a lawyer, and we had this conversation today. They don't believe in crypto, but they don't even get their head wrapped around Bitcoin. It's 12-year-old tech. What is going on right now? It's amazing. What's happening is amazing.
You can really
Shaw 256, retire, come to the beach.
Yeah, get down here.
Yeah, I mean, some people just hate change and will resist it at all costs. And to the people who are open-minded to learn will come great rewards.
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head. You have to have an open mind to learn and not be so closed-minded of things of yesterday, because the world in which we lived yesterday no longer exists. We're moving into the metaverse. We're moving into crypto. We're moving into an ecosystem that's an exponential curve, and the whole world around us is changing, and you need an absolute open mind to be embraceful of that, and that's key to everything these days, Just like Hedron, you got to have your mind open and have your mind open to the possibilities and be welcoming those things. That's just my opinion.
You get some pushback. I mean, I don't want you any inside baseball, but is there any kind of, in general, when you go into other Hex chats or anything like that, are people kind of closed-minded to it, or are they? I mean, I was pretty enthusiastic when I first heard about it from you talking about it. So
absolutely.
Oh, yeah, of course, people are skeptical at first. And it's good to be skeptical at the same time and to be dubious as well, because, the Hex community has been the target of these scammy projects who have just tried to get, Hexagon's money. Absolutely. But you got to check it out. You have to like do your own research, and you have to like look into it. And just like, you know, I get the same vibe sometimes. Like we get the same vibe with Hex. You know, you tell some people about Hex, and they say, "Well, it's just too good to be true. I don't believe it." And they don't look into it, you know. And it's the same. It's like a small fractal of that. You know,
exactly. No, I remember it was like showing some guys back when I was working. I was like, "Hey, look at this! It's got this. Get your money out! Get your money out!" I was like, "Well, it's locked," and they just look at it. Yeah, you locked it. Have fun with that, sailor. You know, or whatever. Good luck with that. It's locked. Haha. I was like, "No, it's actually paying pretty good interest." You know, exactly. Yeah, it is a small fractal of that. That's a good way to put it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so we're just
Randall,
getting
what's going on? You're pretty quiet though.
Yeah, he's pretty quiet for him.
I'm just looking at J Dow right now because it rock bottomed down and then now it's skyrocketed up to $38 from $17. So I'm just taking a look at that. We're gonna liquidate that and then buy into Hex.
There you go. Go to Pulse Swap. Put it in Pulse Swap.
Sure, yeah, dude. Well, if that was me, I don't give financial. What's that?
Sacrifice it.
Yeah, do it up. That'd be a good chance.
We got to do our part for freedom of assembly. That's what we got to do.
There you go. And kudos to Richard. I mean, he's a very he's been. I used to love. I love the blunt old Richard. And I'm almost thinking I love the newer, kind of more political, sort of bites his tongue a little bit and whatever. Richard, even better, maybe. I don't know. I always thought he was a character that I just found was quite fascinating. I started following Richard back in early 2017, I guess. Yeah.
You know. So how's life over there in Australia these days? Everything going good? What's the word in the street in Australia these days?
I mean, depends on what street.
I'm not really so
exactly right.
I'm not really so tuned into the mainstream news. Every now and then I get little hints of what's happening out there, what people think is happening, and like it's been fine for me. I don't have to sign in anywhere. I'm not doing any of the jabby jab or anything like that. I'm like.
Is it going to affect your travel? Jabby jab?
Well, I think it. Yeah. Well, I think they had to take that into consideration when nomad capitalist people were coming up for a plan, coming up with a plan for me. I think it cut down a few options. I think it cut down a few Caribbean island options for tax residency there. I still have to have the final interview to hear what their plan is for me, and then decide whether to do it or not, I suppose.
Well, listen, if you want to elaborate on that, and giving people options, I'm all for that, and putting anything on the table. I mean, you're obviously paying for this information, but if there's ideas out there or places where people can go and travel and aren't locked down, Quebec, someone just said up in Canada, just overnight curfew. They're going nuts.
Yeah,
Canada's going nuts.
I think Europe's going to have a pretty weird winter as well. I think they're in panic mode though, honestly. Like
for no reason.
Like someone was telling me now in Greece, like they're mandating 2 masks. You've got to have 2 masks on, and it's just like, come on, you're taking the piss now, like.
At the beach, right? 2 masks. We just spent the day on the beach. It was great.
Yeah,
and I go to the mall. People begging their thing.
I think the
Quebec announces overnight curfew. Really, a modern simplicity just put that in the comment. Really, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If you want a good satire on the whole situation, watch JP. Right?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him?
Awaken with JP.
Yeah, Awaken with JP with the life jacket with the life jackets. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you got to watch. There's 2 of them. One that he did about 4 months ago, and then there's one that he did about a month ago. One that said you had to wear a life jacket even when you're not near the water, right? And then another one that said you have to wear 3 life jackets. And then they said, oh, you got to wear 4.
Yeah, right, and a mask.
It's true. It's getting out of hand.
Yeah, and I think people are slowly realizing if they were duped into it, you know what I mean? It's like,
well,
how many jabs
to wake up.
It's like,
even my family members, it's like, it's like grinding down. Like it's the ones that kind of went along and everything, and then all of a sudden, 1 week, and now all of a sudden their 12-year-olds can't go to hockey or whatever. Or they were told they're not allowed to visit on certain holidays and stuff, and it's all for the good. But I mean, that's the mantra. But
stuff has a shelf life. People are just not gonna.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Shelf life. My shelf life ended like 6 months ago. We're done. Yeah, no more shelf life. We just live life. Life is short. The only true commodity in this world is time. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I'm not gonna worry about that. You know, it's just.
It sounds like the Latin American countries might be a bit better to spend your time.
Well,
or no.
There's what they put out public facing, and there's what happens in reality. And what they put out media public facing is very scary. Oh my God, we're all the Latin Americas, you're going to die and everything's horrible here and don't come here, blah, blah, blah. And then there's what happens on the real ground here. And what I can say to you without being unpolitical is that there's a very different two worlds that exist, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? What happens on the boots on the ground doesn't happen in reality.
And it's the same here for Australia. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you guys looking at Australia from the outside think we've gone full totalitarian, and while some of the things are true, the actual reality of it is that people are kind of like. People kind of acquiesce and do, and like. I went into a pub yesterday, and I was looking at people, and they were signing in QR codes as I was entering the pub. But I just entered the pub. I didn't do anything. I entered and left a number of times, and no one ever asked me anything or questioned me anything. I think people are just going to get really lazy over it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And then I'm not going to lie, the PR coming out of Australia is horrible, absolutely horrible. Like you'd think you're right, you're 100% totalitarian. You know what I mean? And I think that's the message that we need to get across here, that there's a very different message of what's happening, in reality compared to social media. You just stop looking at Facebook and get out and go live your life. Stop living your life in Twitter and social media and just, I get it, you know what I mean? Like we're running a live stream right now. It's a catch-22, but like, fuck, go live your fucking lives, man. Like stop focusing on that shit.
Hey, Derek.
I agree, Derek.
It sounds like it's the general mood everywhere, man. It's just like, especially like, anyways.
Dude,
I don't think about it much other than I only want to communicate with people in Canada.
Follow Lambo Frosty's Twitter page later, like in a couple hours, and watch the posts we put out. You know what I mean? And you tell me if we're restricted here.
Yeah. Well, hey, Derek, you got to come up for a barbecue then, if you're in Ontario.
Derek Boyd, how is life in Ontario, my friend? Jump on live stream, kick the link. Let's hear from you, my friend. Smash the like, smash the bell. Give us whatever you can. Twitter, retweet us on Twitter. Do us a favor. Come on, my friend.
Yeah, I feel like I'm moving a little slow here for hosts, so you guys can feel free to jump in and throw ideas. But I guess there's PulseX, there's Hex. We covered the Hedron. The price. We had some nice price action in Hex, but Frosty, like you said, we kind of zoned out on the numbers. The last I was mentioning, what were we at New Year's Day last year? Remember there was a pump New Year's Eve. It went from like a cent to a 1.4.
Huge pump last year.
Yeah, it was a
huge pump last year.
One of the whales pumped that I remember was a live stream. It was a good.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that was like a drunk buy or something, was it?
Yeah, was it like it went from we were just under a cent and we went over to like 1.2 or 1.4.
It doubled.
Yeah.
Seconds is not 56 cents. It's not 56 cents again. Where's that 56 cents? Like,
As long as, it is what it is. Like, if you can't figure out this is the greatest ecosystem in the history of mankind, I don't know what to do for you. You know what I mean? Like, you just had an opportunity back in April for Pulse. Now you got an opportunity for Pulse Swap. You know what I mean? You got an opportunity for coming from Hedron. Like, you got an opportunity to hold your ERC20 tokens. They're going to get doubled over. Like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Modern Simplicity asked what we thought about the Kevin interview. I thought it was a great interview, actually. I really loved that he was like really asking, difficult questions, and pushing, and it's like, because it just gave us a chance to see Richard cool and calm and answering everything, you know, like, and that's what you want, you know. It's like,
oh yeah, I had a friend.
We
Go ahead,
Go
Frosty. I was just gonna say
we gotta give kudos
great.
to whatever. We gotta give kudos to Richard for not losing his shit on that stream. But go ahead, my friend.
That's all I was saying. That was the new Richard I like too. And he can be political, talks around things, but he did a good job on that. And I did watch it, and I didn't get a lot of new stuff out of it, but it was I'm not even familiar with who that guy is, to be honest with you. But that's how out of touch I am. But the truth is, my friend called me, a guy that had been introduced to Hex a while ago, and he saw it, and he was blown away by it. He's like, you know, so it depends on what level you're at. So, and a lot of people, like newer eyes on Hex, the same old questions that they're what, 2.5 years old to us now. The scam, the rug pull, or whatever they used to say back in the day when the Maxis all turned on Richard. You know, they're going to steal. You're going to try and get your free tokens. He's going to steal your private keys when you sign a signature from your wallet. There was so much BS, all of it, all along. So, yeah, Kevin was annoying. Someone says, but
all I can say is keep an eye on the dots where it says, you know, communities being added. The Latin American community dots are being added by the day here. People, I know there's lots of people here in Ecuador that we've onboarded that are sacrificing for Pulse Swap. They've bought into Hex. So, you know, there's lots of new people that are onboarding in Latin America here, and it's going to be a wildfire. It's going to be a wildfire.
What is that website? If I want to check it's PulseX. I'm going to go see what the total amount of sacrifice money is right now.
I think it says PulseX.com.
Yeah, PulseX.com. And it was like 94 million last time I checked. 94, 97 million. Less than 24 hours. And
That's
then they
crazy.
had those guys that were sacrificing, what was that, Inu coin? Was it 3 billion coins yesterday? Like,
so how do they get the? Because I was watching Adam Stokes' video, and he said, and he was on the video when he said, and it's up to 1.5 billion, and I was like, holy shit! And I went and looked at Etherscan, it was 1.5 billion, and I went and told some people, and like, and someone was like, no, it's just this meme coin, which is like 1.4 billion worth, and like, how do they get that price onto Etherscan? Like,
it was manipulated. And they basically jacked the price and then sacrificed it. But so Simplicity is saying we're at 122 million.
Yeah, I just confirmed that. And he said I was about to paste the whole big long number, and he did. He beat me to it. So there you go.
So that's like them trying to advertise, basically. That's basically
for sure.
That meme coin trying to advertise on through us or through.
And honestly, I was a little skeptical there. You know what I mean? Somebody sacrifices $3 billion, $3 billion with a B, into your wallet address, and I was like, I don't know. That'd be hard to send that money back. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just send that back to that guy. You know what I mean? Like, who sends back $3 billion? But kudos to Richard and kicking it out and holding firm to the sacrifice. So that's some stand up right there. And shout out from Grand Bend. Lots of parties in Grand Bend over the years, Derek Boyd. We had lots of great times out there. Grand Bend is a great place, my friend.
There you go. You guys are beating me to it. Perfect. Well, this is we're not really driving her home here too hard. We had a hot day on the beach, and it's been a long day. So I'm not calling this the end, but I'm throwing you guys looking for life preservers. Anyone want to mention anything or get a point out?
Frosty, got a question about the brain freeze. I need more alcohol.
Cheers.
The
nodes, yes.
Oh, running a pulse node.
Yeah, you were able. How are you making out with the node?
Well, I can't do anything right now with the node. It's running, but it's not part of the circulation because I don't have 500,000 pulse.
That's fine. I'll log on tomorrow and give me a call mid-afternoon, not early morning, and we'll figure something out because there's more than enough tokens to get that node running.
So are you guys planning on running validators?
Yep.
We're going to try to run a validator node and get into circulation. I'm pretty sure we can pull enough tokens together to run a validator node. We don't have an exact number on what the validator node is in order to run, but I think amongst the small collection of people that we have that are in our little tight ecosystem, there should be. We should have enough pulse to run at a validator node. So, but until those numbers are actually finalized, yeah, I don't know. Right now, what are they saying? 500,000, a billion tokens, but that's
500,000.
Yeah, so 500,000 is not an issue. But even if it's 1 or 2 billion tokens or whatever, we should be able to supply that. No worries.
This is a little bit. I'm learning about nodes here now. So when you talk about a validator node, is that one of the 33, or is there other nodes besides the 33? So can you?
No, so it's only going to be one of the 33 validator nodes in the rotation that's going to secure the network, and that's basically what we're trying to run. So Randall just needs some more tokens to run the testnet on testnet version 2.
So here,
there's more nodes, right? But there's only 33 validating nodes.
Yeah.
Right. So you have a whole slew of nodes. And then you have basically the command center nodes or the validating nodes, and they're the only ones that actually have authorization to take a look at the transactions, right, and process them properly. And the other nodes then just basically double check the work.
So they're just waiting in limbo.
It's my understanding that there's a lot of people running nodes right now, relative to the. We think of ourselves as a small little project or, up and comers, but we're kind of like take it over. And there's a lot of nodes out there. So you're saying that if you run this node and you could, basically there's going to circulate through the top 33 or is it 30? I can't remember, but
33.
33. Yeah. And then if one of them falls off, if you happen to be the one underneath, you'll be able to go in at that point.
Yeah.
So there is incentive, I guess, for people to keep running these nodes. Is there any other advantage to running a node other than hoping to get in if you don't have enough?
Well, there's lots of advantages to running a node if you understand how a node works. But being part of the 33 validator nodes, well, you'll be able to delegate the amount of fees for that. So I think we should be able to become a validator node. Randall just needs some tokens to supply to testnet version 2, and now the testnet version 2 is that they recognize the tokens that are supplied on the airdrop, that we should be able to supply Randall with enough tokens for the validator node. So then we can.
Will it cost you a lot of money to run a validating node, like in terms of equipment and uptime and someone being there to make sure it all's going and everything like that, to make sure that you're in the top 33? How long are you looking at before you get profit on those kinds of expenses? Is it just mainly from token appreciation, or at some point in the future do you see yourself being in profit from that?
Well, you'd be in profit from that because if you if I understand it correctly, you get what normally would go to miners, right, to validate, right, would be going to these node operators, right, that validate the nodes, the authenticating nodes, right, or the validating nodes.
Yeah, but at first the transaction fees will be so small that will they be enough to pay for all of your stuff at first, or is it a kind of 5-year kind of outlook kind of thing?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a 5-year outlook, right?
So it's kind of like mining back in the day. You know what I mean? So it just so happens that Randall is a very good computer person and just happens to have a lot of stuff laying around the house that we can run it. So, if we need to put a backup generator or UPS to supply that on a 24-hour deal, I may have still some connections with an electrical company I may used to own back in Canada that can make that happen. So that's how we got involved back in the day. So back in the day, mining used to be really expensive in order to set up the infrastructure for it. And Randall, whatever his name is today, used to own a computer store, and I used to own an electrical contracting company. So between the two of us, we were able to put together a very large mining network for virtually nothing, where we could put it together for cost, where most people would have to spend a ridiculous amount of money. And so we got into that before, during the Ethereum Classic, before the ETH fork. So we were able to mine a lot of coins prior to the East Fork that we got to keep. But if you had to pay for it just from an outside person without having those experiences, it'd probably not be worth the while to set up that infrastructure. You know, what do you think, Randall? Probably wouldn't be.
No, it wouldn't, because you got to also factor in the fact that we were actually running at a deficit, right? Just on electricity costs, period.
Oh yeah, we ran on a deficit for years.
Right, just on the electricity costs, not even taking into account the actual overall hardware costs.
Yeah.
Right, so,
but it pays off in the long term. In the long run, it paid off, but in the short run, it didn't pay off.
Electricity in Ontario just went ridiculously large, right? Like we're paying like
21 cents a kilowatt hour, no?
On the peak hours, right? 17 cents on the off hours, right? Per kilowatt.
Yeah. Spice up the mix here.
Jimmy Solutions is in the house.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Sorry,
guys. I am a little late, still at work, but I wanted to join, say hello to all you guys, and see what's going on. Hey, how you doing, Frosty friend? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, guys? Everything okay?
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming by, Jimmy. So, just introduction. Jimmy's a local furniture maker and friend of ours, and he's been able to facilitate building furniture for a lot of people, but and can take it in crypto if anyone ever comes around here and wants to get some furniture made. Jimmy's your man, and he does nice work.
Design, furniture, everything. You know, his wife owns an amazing, beautiful furniture store. His sister-in-law owns a beautiful lighting store. So yeah, they're very influential people in the community and very great people to have on board. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, really appreciate it. I was getting some news over the week. I'm feeling pretty happy about it. I don't know if you know, Dave, that the government right now is going down the ESQ, which is like the input, the taxes in order to take money out of the country.
Yeah.
Before, we used to pay, for example, we take over $1,000, we have to pay $50 for each $1,000 that we take out. If you take $10,000, you have to pay $500 just to take the money, those dollars out of the country. And now the president is taking that eventually. For example, at the end of the year, it's going to be only 4%, but the end of the government is going to be 0, which means that it's going to help a lot of people that want to buy crypto or want to buy Bitcoin or wherever to take the money out of the country, because it won't be taxes to take it off, which is a very good news.
Great news. Absolutely great news. So every time we get kind of a push back, we get a push forward, and everything's all great. Feliz Navidad, Dan. Feliz Navidad.
Sounds good. Yeah, I know. It's a good news. I'm happy about it. I'm happy that the X is going up. My fellow friends, the three amigos, now are happy too. Getting money back. Yeah, I know you're happy. You're You're Frosty. I'm happy for you guys. From the bottom of my heart, I'm happy for you guys. So I enjoy it. It's happy to see the same people and most people asking and people joining, and everybody's brand new coming in, asking new questions and just saying that we're having fun here, man. And sorry, I was late. I still at work, but probably be done in an hour. But this is my last day of work this year. So
meet us at Olympia.
Happy New Year.
Meet us at Olympia.
Yeah. Today, yes. I'll be done in an hour. I'm still at the factory. You can see, still at work. But
give the guys a little show of can you show them the factory a little bit?
Yeah, no, I'm going. I'll be done in an hour. I promise you. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna go to Dam Olimpo and start taking some shots and having some fun with you guys. So I'm gonna be wasted today and wasted tomorrow and wasted Saturday and Sunday. We're gonna have fun these 4 days. Now you're gonna get in trouble, Frosty.
I tell you what. Listen, speaking of fun in Ecuador, one thing we've seen down here is it's a unique cultural experience for me so far. Is these giant paper mache things people driving around the top of their cars. So far, most of them been they're all very colorful, but a lot of like superhero stuff and everything. I don't know if there's always been traditional.
What do you call those? What are they traditionally called here in Ecuador?
I mean, you haven't seen nothing. I mean, if you go, like, for example, to Guayaquil, you'll see, like, statues, I'm not kidding, over 10, 12 meters high.
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge statues, like 12 meters, 50 meters.
Jimmy Solutions, just give them a little background on what that is and what that means. You know what I mean? What is that to Ecuador, my friend?
I mean, okay. For what? For New Year's?
Yeah, well, so the burning and removing of those, like, and beating them down, like, just explain that a little bit, because it's actually amazing. And we'll take pictures and drone shots of it tomorrow night. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, pretty much I'm going to tell you, for example, well, even though with the COVID come down a little bit, here in Ecuador, they have, like, a lot of fun in New Year's Eve. I mean, the people come over, have dinner first with the family, they receive the New Year, and after that they go party. But 12 o'clock sharp, they start burning all these años viejos, what it's called, the statues. The statues is like filled up with a lot of firecrackers. So they start burning them. It's gonna be hell. I mean, I don't know this year, but I mean, I believe I spent like 3 or 4 New Year's Eve in Salinas. That's pretty much like Sao Paulo. I'm not kidding. It's amazing. Salinas is amazing. Here in Manta, you're saying you're gonna hear a lot of firecrackers everywhere. You're gonna see all these statues, little firecrackers burning everywhere in the streets, in the middle of the streets. People throwing gasoline on them and start burning. They say like the old year is gone, and what happens like they start burning them and firecrackers everywhere. You can see it everywhere. I mean, they start shots all over the sky. It's amazing. It's a really nice thing here.
Speaking of firecrackers, we may have 1,000 or 2 firecrackers going to be shut off from the condo here tomorrow night. And tune in to Lambo Frosty at HEXADOR and 5555 and Twitter, and you will see lots of posts of that tomorrow night, my friends. But that's the thing we're going to do. Like, that's it. Like, we're here to promote that life is not over and life is still fun and things are still happening in the world. And everything's not coming to doom and gloom, and that there is still hope in the world. So do not give up hope. There is still things, and tune in and watch us, follow us, and we will show that to you, my friend.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. I mean, obstacles, they throw them up, but just, work your way around it. Like Bloom said, went to the pub today and just kind of...
Derek Boyd says we'd be instantly arrested immediately in Canada. Guaranteed we'd be arrested. Yep. We'd be arrested in like 5 minutes from the shit that we're going to pull off here tomorrow night. You have no freaking idea. Derek Boyd, tune into my Twitter account, my friend, and you will see. We will absolutely. And even if we do get arrested, we'll give them $20 and they'll go away.
Oh, yeah. That's the best part. Yeah, that's the best part. I mean, it's like the cop stop you if you make you're driving something wrong or you did something wrong. Let me tell you something that happened the other day. I was like, my kids are underage.
Solutions, he's also official ambassador of Ecuador. Okay, tell us how to get around
this. This is not financial advice. We are not ambassadors of Ecuador.
Not legal advice.
Not legal advice in Ecuador.
Not legal advice.
Not legal advice.
This is very good. Listen to me. We went to the day after Christmas, we went to Monse's house.
Yeah.
My kids, they're underage. They have already made the course for driving, but they don't have a license. Okay. So my wife left first, and then my kids took their cars, brand new car. They give it to them in Christmas, and they start driving. Then I was still there at Monse's house. So I came out, and he make a bad turn, and the police stopped my kids. Okay. So the transit police was there. My wife called me and said, hey, they stopped the kids. They're going to take them to jail. Oh, really? So I went down over there, and my kids, the police came over and said, hey, you made this. Give me your license. And my kids said, I don't have a license. Give me your paper. I don't have any paper. Give me your cellular. I do, but I don't have a license. So I stopped right there. I was right there, and the police go, man, your kid doesn't have a license. Yeah, he doesn't. He already made the turn. He's a brand new car I brought from them. Oh, very nice car. Yes, it is. Hey, buddy, let's forget about this. Hey, it's $40 because that was a major infraction.
Yeah.
I keep driving without a license. That is jail time. according to the law here. Okay, $40. That's it. Go on, follow me. He's coming with me home. That's it. Forget it.
Christmas presents for your kids.
Oh,
All right.
Feliz Navidad, amigo. Feliz Navidad.
I mean, it's like a law here right now. The government put like a supposedly, we're supposed to have the carnet for the vaccine. Okay, so you can go not get into the malls. You don't have the carnet.
But
So I go in, I
Walk
say,
in.
give me a carnet. Fuck off. I say, I just got in. That's it. Forget it. That's it. And they imposed that because of the Omicron, but they imposed it like from December 23 to January 22. Just for the holidays. That's it. After that, they won't ask you for a passport anymore. That's it. It's in the law. And already a lot of people complaining about it because they say, hey, we don't need that. I mean, people come over with all the shots here and they die. So don't give me shit about the fucking vaccine. That's what the people are saying. I'm sorry I'm talking this way, but it's true. I'm seeing all over the news, the internet, and it's amazing. I mean, so that's the way the country is, Get a ticket, $20. You get a problem, $20. People stop you, don't bother me. Yeah, fuck off.
All right.
It's great. I love
We
it.
live in it. It's an interesting world. I'm not gonna lie, but don't take the social media so seriously, my friends. The world is not coming to an end. There is life without freaking the Omicron, the fucking Megatron, whatever bullshit's going on in the news.
Yeah.
There is life out without that. Don't get down. I know you guys are in the dark. You're northern Canada, northern USA, where it's dark, it's cold. But what I can say to you is there is still hope in the world, and the world still is evolving. And don't be discouraged by that. Don't get put down on it. Get on a plane, come down here, make it happen. Don't waste your time. The only true commodity in this world is time, and don't waste it living in fear. Get out there and live your lives, my friend. Get out and enjoy the new year. Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, we did. We've
And
been
enjoy
celebrating.
your lives, my friend.
We got to the beach, man. I got some good sun today, and we were able to drive around on some Sea-Doos, and it was just an all around great day. I don't know what the temperature was. I don't pay
It's like
attention to all
35,
these
and we were sending
details.
Jimmy Solutions pictures of the Sea-Doo and listening to the speakers on the
Yeah,
beach,
yeah.
and he's like, hey,
Tomorrow you're gonna see a fat guy getting into a fucking Sea-Doo and having some fun, man. I need to have fun.
fat guy onto a Sea-Doo.
Yeah.
Love it.
Just don't mention Speedo. Okay.
What's
We
a
have
sea-
to go. We have to have some fun tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But
I mean,
first we're gonna have fun tonight.
you, Dave. I mean, I can't believe you. I'm telling Dave, hey, I'm working. You know what the Dave's answer is? Send me a picture from the beach, having fun, drinking beer, having fun with other guys, dancing with girls. Oh, that's, I mean, I was like, I envy you guys, It's like, God damn it, I'm working my ass off, and this guy is enjoying himself. That's a crypto. Yeah,
Power of
that's
the
the way you get
T-shirt,
it.
buddy. Power of the
The
T-shirt.
T-shirts. I don't even watch the price anymore. I mean, I'm happy it's up. You mentioned it, Jimmy, but and this is the thing. Maybe I don't know who's listening to these streams, but any new, I don't know how many new Hexicans out there. I do have some friends who are new into it, and here's an example of what this guy that liked that Ken's interview. Chris, you're out there. How you doing, Mr. Holmes? But anyways, he was watching his USDC in his MetaMask wallet. I was trying to help him out, so I sent him some USDC, and he's like, "It's only worth $194." Then we're talking. I'm trying to walk him through some websites, how to use hex.com and different things like that to do some stakes. And then he's like, "It's still going down. It's still going down." I said, "Listen, you got $100, $100 crypto, a crypto peg stabilized token there. Don't worry about it." And then 5 minutes later, he's like, "It's going down again. It's $982 now." And I was like, "Dude, until you take that out of there, that's not even real. That doesn't matter. It's $100 on the blockchain." But this is so, I don't know, where people are at. But one of the other things I thought that it always sounds funny, and people always say trustless, or you can do a contract, or you can trade on Uniswap or on PulseSwap. You'll be able to trade is be trustlessly, and they say, yeah, no humans. And some people that sounds wrong, but you got to think back. Randall, you remember buying tokens? Did you ever back when they used to have the you'd have to send your money to somebody else if you want to do a private transaction.
Yeah.
DeFi has definitely changed crypto, and it's Hex is an existential threat to the establishment as far as all the exchange people and all those people that invest in all the YouTubers and the paid shills out there. I mean, Hex has just created a bunch of people like us that are goofing around
Hex,
on a
DeFi,
Thursday night.
EHEX, PHEX, freaking
and
Pulse
just
Swap,
keeps
Pulse
paying
Chain.
us
It just
money.
keeps getting better. Headrun, like it just keeps getting better and better and better day after day. And all I can say is we're literally hours away from 2022. Don't get down. Be happy. Time is the only true commodity in the world. Live your life free. Make it
I
happen.
want to be happy tonight. I want to be happy tonight.
You are.
I mean, have fun for a long time. I want to be happy.
We're going to Olympia.
The three amigos. The three amigos are going out.
Tres amigos. Feliz Navidad. Hey.
All right.
Hey, hey, you know something? My ex sister-in-law, she come out and visit me. They have a big project for a new building that is coming down there are two buildings actually. They're coming down and they're already, I'm not kidding to you, they're like in planes, they're starting building them and they're already sold 50% of the fucking building. It's amazing.
Is that the Grand on the Bay or whatever it is?
Yeah.
We were at the opening
It's amazing.
the other day. Yeah.
I mean, everything that buys here, I mean, there's a lot of people moving here.
Beside that, that's the glass elevator that's going up. They're going
Yes, there's a lot of people coming down here. I mean, it's amazing.
They want to get the fuck out of North America because it sucks shit, man.
I know.
Get the fuck out of there. Come to Latin America.
Come and enjoy life. I mean, they don't believe what the people say about Ecuador. Ecuador is amazing, man. Ecuador is a really nice place to be.
And just going to throw that out there, Ecuador is not in Africa. Ecuador is in Latin America, FYI. You know how many people ask me every time, hey, are you in Africa? No, I'm in fucking Latin America.
You sure
nice women too.
Sure not in Latin Africa?
Nice Africa, women too.
Yeah, see.
A lot of chicks.
Hey,
let's Randall, you want to do your shit?
Randall Shitcoin Corner. Here we are. Let's do it.
So okay. What is? So you mentioned one earlier that you're thinking about selling for Hex,
Actually,
right? Or you're sacrificing for the.
I just sold Jade.
Right now, what?
Yeah, Jade was Jade Protocol. It's a DAO, right? And it went from like $600 all the way down to like $30, right? Went all the way down to $17 and 0 APY. Like basically everybody was thinking it's a rug pull, right? I don't think it's a rug pull, but I want to take my money out and go buy some Pulse, right? Sacrifice for some PulseX, right? So I got out of that position and made money. So that's all that really mattered.
Good for you.
Right.
Frosty, you need to see some more pictures.
What?
They say, Frosty, wanna share more info on those car pics?
Absolutely. Don't worry about it. Listen, we got a whole bunch more car pics coming, and maybe a Porsche showing up here in the next little while. Stay tuned. Follow that. Just keep an eye on the Frosty Twitter page. You'll see all kinds of interesting stuff happening in the next little while.
Frosty is like how you say like
well, Dean started calling me Lambo Frosty, so
yeah, pretty much like that. Yeah, something like that. Like the Steve Jobs of Ecuador or something like that. Like the guy that walks around and is like have everything and everybody look at. Frosty.
All right. Randall was talking about his coins. He was going to sell. Let's
sorry.
So now a little bit of crypto. Keep it on crypto. We've been wandering here. Becoming a typical
Jade
stream thing.
So Jade went down and just jumped back up to $37 and then kind of stabilizing around 32. So I just sold it at 32. I only had like 30 coins in it, right? And a lot of those
chunk.
And that was only because of I bought like 10 and then I got kind of like a rebase on them. Right, so most of that is all profit. And anyway, so Time Wonderland, It's a
how's that going?
Another DAO project. They're actually branching off, and they're going into betting and casino idea, right? And all of the kind of the profits in that are going to be rolled back into the
Starting already.
project. So that's something to take a look at. Right now, it's down pretty cheap. It's actually around $3,600, $3,700. Its high was 10 grand, and they think that they're going to be breaking that right once they get all of this finalized.
Well, I got some.
Might want to get in there and grab. And they have a rebase as well. They got an APY of I believe 70,000 APY, and they rebase every 8 hours.
We got to check this out here. Yeah. I got to figure out how to work this thing.
Hey, what's a Sidu that you were talking about before?
A Sidu?
Yeah.
That's what we call it. It's like a jet ski, but the one you sit down on.
Look at this, look at this bad boy.
Where'd you get that from?
Huh? This is what we're going to light on fire. So you beat this thing and we're going to light it on fire. Look at this.
You have to fill that up with firecrackers, though.
Hey, look at it. So here we go. Here's another one.
Yeah, they all look like superheroes.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's a super villain.
Yeah.
Those are made of paper mache. It's amazing.
They're made of paper mache. And here in Ecuador, these things are incredibly made. Very lots of detail. And then they I don't know, different people beat them to death or whatever with whatever. And then they turn around and light them on fire. It's kind of like a giant piñata. And then they light them on fire for New Year's to get away from the old, everything that was bad, all the badness of 2021 and release it into 2022. So these things will be lit on fire tomorrow night, and will be lots of posts, and we'll make some video of it and send it out to you. But yeah, welcome to Ecuador.
Those are very cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's because they know how much it is. They're very cheap, probably $30, $40, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're about $50 or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, give it while you're out there.
They're huge ones, like those ones.
Dave.
Huh?
50 meters.
Shot off your deck.
In Guayaquil, they have it like made in 15 meters, which is like 45 feet tall.
Yeah.
That's a nice view.
It's not a tough view.
Beautiful.
I see another.
Just think, Blue Bum, you could be down there.
Another couple $1 million got thrown into that PulseX. Like, I mean, I'm not good at. I'm more of an ideas guy. Like retaining numbers, not so much. But we're like the Pulse sacrifice. I mean, we're already way ahead of that. I mean, I'm thinking is what are the implications of the amount of money that's going into this? Can any of you guys kind of project this forward? Like this just seems like an astronomical amount of money and energy being put into a token. And one of the things I like about the way Richard does things is there's no VC, there's no pre-mining, there's no selling, everything, all the other typical crypto scams and things that have been going on over the years, where a bunch of people got in first and everything. This is just anyone that wants in can do it now,
I wonder, like, it's going to be interesting, like before the bots come in, you're going to be able to swap PulseX for Pulse. And like, I wonder how many people are getting in now because they want Pulse.
Now,
and what will happen with that market, like when it first opens?
Here's the question: Why don't they make it bot resilient?
Oh no, they want the bots. The bots are coming in on purpose.
I'm talking about their own bots. I can see doing that, but I'm saying if they're open for bots, right? Is it bot resilient to other bots? Or is it only their bots that are going to be going in there?
No,
that's
just
my question, right?
Yeah,
because that's what the happens with the big whales and everybody else, right? The exchanges or anybody like that comes in with bots, buys up everything before anybody like myself or individual, as they call retail, right? Consumers, right?
The reason they're doing that is that you have all these like liquidity pools in Uniswap and Bancor and SushiSwap. And so what'll happen is after they're forked, bots will go into those liquidity pools, and because there's like 1 million times more Pulse in existence than ETH, what those bots will do is they'll buy up a whole lot of the PRC20s to bring those ratios back in so that they're the same, so that essentially the same price for the ETH pools is happening on the Pulse pools. And what that means is those bots harvest all of those PRC20s by giving Pulse. So those pairs get a lot of Pulse, and they get their PRC20s they get a lot of Pulse.
I'm sorry, I just laughing at the comment from Mother Simplicity.
The roads are just fine, Modern. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine with a Lambo. Just don't take him to Monanita. You'll be all right.
Okay, Mother, if you're coming down and you're going to drive a Lambo, I mean, at least you lend it to me, not like somebody that I know.
Yeah, what are you trying to say?
Sorry.
So let's let him finish that thought, though. I was
for sure.
It's a good message to get out there. I'm kind of aware of this stuff, but I'm not as articulate on as Bloombum is. So please finish your thoughts there, buddy.
Absolutely. So then all of those liquidity pools that were in SushiSwap and Uniswap and Bancor, they'll be rebalanced, and all of the PRC20s that the bots harvest from those, they'll provide the liquidity of PulseX. So all of those liquidity pairs will be in PulseX, and PulseX will be the biggest swap.
It'll be the only one, really. It'll have the advantage.
There'll be the forks of Uniswap. There'll be the forks of Uniswap.
I understand that, but how can they compete against once it takes those?
It'll have the maximum amount of liquidity with less slippage. That's the reality.
Yeah, it'll be
those other pools will have no liquidity, and the slippage will be higher. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're forking over, and they'll have the maximum amount of liquidity, so the slippage will be less. So the other, like you said, the Uniswap can still fork over. But if there's no liquidity, the slippage is ridiculous, right? So there's no incentive to use it. So there's basically an incentive factor because the liquidity pools are being copied over because it's a forks, right? So then the bot will aggregate that and bring it in, correct?
And
PulseX will be the cheapest swap as well.
Is it my understanding was that the intention from the start, or is this something that developed as we moved along here? Because it definitely is exciting. I mean, that's an amazing thought. Was that the intention from the start?
Brilliant.
Well, I think that it's about having these problems or challenges arise and working out ways to deal with them. So his first thing was, right, I'm going to fork Ethereum so that we can have cheaper fees, because it's ridiculous what we're paying now. And then it's like, okay, if I'm going to fork Ethereum and I want to bring all that value over, how can I do it? Oh, what if I fork the whole Ethereum state and give everyone copies of their PRC20s? Okay, so now what happens to those liquidity pools that are coming over? Oh, hang on, how about if we have a bot that... So I think it's just step by step, these problems or challenges are... He found them and then had to find solutions for them.
And he has layers of people, he has layers of people under in the different Telegram groups that, get closer and have more access to Richard's ears that, the smarter you are, the higher up the food chain you go, so to speak. And he does bounce all this stuff off the community. I remember when he was doing, when Hex was called Bitcoin Swap. I mean, at that, Bitcoin Hex. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was out of Bitcoin. I was already using Wrap Bitcoin and trading it on Kyber and things like that. So, but I didn't follow the details too deeply in, but I was there and waiting. I definitely FOMO'd on day one, but Richard has surrounded himself with some of the smartest people in crypto, and I don't understand why people FUD the projects that he makes, and he's just been nothing but a fantastic individual as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, like most of the donations, but most of the SAC is in Hex. And so he's getting all of that SAC. He's not going to be able to spend any of it. Like, he's not spending any Hex. So,
no.
like all of this thing that people are sacking, like, he's not doing it for his selfish purpose. Like, he's doing it for the glory and all that kind of stuff, and to help other people, and the selfishness that he gets out of helping other people, I suppose. But like he's doing it out of goodness, and he's the complete. It's so ironic when people call him a scammer. Like, it's just the complete opposite.
I agree. Well, my friends, any final thoughts there?
Yeah, we'll wind her down. We'll call her early this week. Hey, Randall, you didn't get a chance to do your, unless Bloom, you're a guest here, a special guest.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
You want to finish your thoughts, and we appreciate you coming by. We're a little less energetic than usual, but long day in the sun on the beach. But
look, I thank you guys for having me on. I love chatting to you guys. I can't wait to party with you in Ecuador. I think it's gonna be super fun.
Okay, wait to party with you, my friend.
Yeah. I just want to. I wish you all Feliz Navidad, or no, what? Yeah. Happy New Year.
Sounds good.
And like Merry Christmas, isn't it? Feliz Navidad. So what's happening?
Yeah.
Feliz Nueva Año.
If you're in, listen, you might have more time, spend more time in the telegrams. If you're in the Hedron groups and places like that, tell them about us. If they want to come on, if the Alex fellow wants to come on here, just get them to DM me, and we'll bring them on next week, or as the thing gets closer to launch, and get more eyes on it. Because at this point, that it's already there. The cat's out of the bag. This is when I first discovered BitTorrent. Where we had went from LimeWire and all this other kind of stuff. Once the guy made BitTorrent, and this is the kind of thing we're dealing with. It's not going to go away. So if people don't want to hear about Hedron, too bad. You got to hear about it, because it's there. It's going to be built, and this guy's doing it. So it's going to change things, and we need all the information we can get. Right? That's the way I look at it.
And it's a contract with no admin keys. So once it gets deployed, that's it.
It's done.
On there.
Yeah,
it's on there.
Do it.
You can either choose to interact with it or not.
Right. And the more education we have on up front, and the more people are aware of it and kind of talking about it, and I don't think it's a scam. My limited approach to it, I have no idea, but I want to see people talk about it, at least to the point. There's some things that were obvious scams, like some of those games that are built that on top of Hex, pay your Ponzi, get 80% in and 20% exit fees, and all those quote unquote games that were early days of Hex. But this is nothing like that. So
they're not asking you to send any money anywhere. It's basically this. You can go and interact with this if you want. That's it.
Alex said in your chat he will come to your show. Nice.
You're more than welcome. Anybody's welcome to the show anytime.
Is he in here right now? Nice. Maybe he said that on the other thing. Excellent. Oh, well, welcome, man. Cool. Thank you. All right. Check in.
Yes, thanks for having me on. Thanks everyone in chat. I wish you all a happy New Year, and all the best for the future.
Yeah, be safe, and keep me in the loop too on how you make out with the traveling, because I've got some people very near and dear to me. They're in very similar situations, and always curious about how that getting around the world and traveling without the stabby stab or the jabby jab or whatever how they're calling it nowadays. Stay healthy. Absolutely. You look good.
Cool. Yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
True blood. All right, Randall, you want to talk about poop coins?
Okay. Well,
sorry, buddy. We don't just bring you on here to beat on you.
No, three coins, right? Sata Mask is coming out at the possibly New Year, right? Like January 1st, first week of January. That's Sata Mask for Satama, right? In you. It's going to be a big pump for the actual coin. So if you're wanting to get a quick jump and a quick couple of bucks.
Thanks, Derek.
Right? Derek, again, got to come up, right? Northern Ontario. And another coin would be the Shinamu, right? It's Shinja coin. Looking at that, it's got like 10 zeros to it. It's basically like what Hex was when it first came out, right? In the way of zeros. And also, Shiba Inu is still going to be going strong. So those are the three coins that I'm looking at right now. and obviously, right, PulseX. So
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Shaw
Year, my friend.
256.
Jimmy Solutions, what is your final thoughts for 2021, my friend?
Well, the final thoughts for this. Pretty happy that finally got the info that I needed from crypto. I got it from two strange guys, but no, my friends, my really good friends. I'm happy for that. I'm happy we're doing a lot of business together. Happy we are getting. I'm seeing light at the end of the tunnel here in Ecuador. And probably you are a big part of it. You guys, you too, are a big part of it. And you open a road for a lot of people that are coming here. And nothing else to say. I'm happy about it. I'm going to enjoy life. Feliz Año Nuevo to everybody. And see you at Olimpo.
All right, man. Hey, Jimmy, thanks for having us over your house for Christmas. We had a traditional Ecuadorian dinner, and when I described it to anyone, said that was it to the T, and it was delicious. Everything you served us was amazing. It's a little weird for us eating at 11 o'clock at night on Christmas Eve, but it was fantastic, and really enjoyed myself, and it was nice to have see people, just being able to watch people interact with their family.
Yeah, that's the idea, man. That's the idea. Christmas is that. That's the idea. It's family time. Family time.
We're honored and appreciative to be welcomed into your home and to be part of your family, my friend. It was much appreciated, and for the true Ecuadorian Christmas experience. And for everybody going on, we're ending 2021. We're moving into 2022. And things are not depressive; they're hopeful. We live in a world of optimism, not depression or anything else like that.
Pessimism.
Just keep the hope, keep the faith. Pessimism, there's no pessimism. Keep the optimism. Lots of great things are happening. We're moving into 2022. We're forging new paths. New things are happening, and have a great time, my friends.
When in doubt, go to the beach.
When in doubt, go to the beach.
It was a great day at the beach, and wow, that's I have not much to add to that other than
little cold.
I just want to give a shout out to Shaw 256, Derek Boyd, Modern Simplicity, all the people that come in, Blue Bomb, appreciate it, Regs to Riches, K4K, all the people that have supported us, and the entire Hex community. Wish you a happy Merry Christmas and an amazing 2022.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be amazing, and it's just we're lucky to be here. It's
good things are coming.
Good things are coming.
Good things are coming.
Good things are coming.
And on that note, my friends,
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna start winding her down. I'm gonna play last week's intro again. I wish I could have got my good new one out. It was more upbeat. Have fun, guys. Yeah. This is all stolen memes I grabbed off Telegram and stuff.
Cool, man.
And
Thanks,
see you, man.
Leon.
Cheers, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.